Okay, so this is periodic table development. All we're going to do is talk about, a few main people that were responsible for putting the periodic table together. Um, this is around the mid 1800s, most of this. And the first person we're going to talk about is J.W. Dobriner. All right. And what he did was move that up just a little bit. Okay. He found that elements could be classified into sets of three. He called those sets of three triads. Found all based on their chemical properties. Back then, they only had about 60 or so elements, so they weren't messing with the 100 or so that we have now. So they didn't have a whole lot to work with compared to what we have now. But using what they had and what they knew, that's how they put it together. Okay, and these were called again triads. We have three elements on the periodic table that basically had the same kind of properties, and he put those in vertical groups, um, put those in columns, and just called them triads. Next guy, J.A.R. Newlands. Okay, and Newlands, he noticed, let's see, noticed organized or when you arranged known elements. So they only had 62 elements at the time. So when you arrange the 62 known elements, mass, they're, they're you see a pattern basically of similar properties every 8 elements. Called this was the law of octaves. Okay, so every eight you kind of showed up with the same properties. So in theirs, he probably only had 8 columns. Okay, because every time you'd come to the ninth element, that would look a lot like the first element, so they'd put them underneath one another. And then Dmitri Mendeleev. He is the father of the periodic table. He he's the one that made it look pretty good, pretty close to what we have now. Um, so at this point, the periodic table is arranged based on atomic mass. Okay, so what he did was he rearranged it, some elements out of order according to their atomic mass. Okay, and he did this so they would fit in the correct column with other elements of similar properties. And when I say he put them out of order, he just made the assumption that some of the atomic masses might have been wrong. So he kind of just decided, okay, if you know, if one element had the same properties as another element, he put them in columns together, regardless of what their atomic mass were, and he just kind of said, well, that's probably wrong. We don't have all that great technology to really decide if that's 100% accurate or not. So we're going to put them in columns based on their properties, and just kind of forget about the fact that their atomic masses are what they are. Later on, the concept of atomic number was developed by HGJ. Okay, and then once they came up with the atomic number, they found out that that's the number of protons in the nucleus, all that good stuff. They were able to put that in numerical order and basically prove that Mendeleev was correct in putting these elements in order based on their properties. And we've used that ever since. All basically states that when elements are arranged by increasing atomic number, their properties show a pattern. Okay, and that's it. That is the three forerunners, or the three people that we need to know about how we came about with the periodic table.